welcome to episode 438 of In Touch by OS, the podcast that keeps you connected to the ever-changing Apple ecosystem. I am your host, Dave Ginsburg. Each week we break down the latest news, updates, tips, and hidden features across iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Mac, Vision Pro, and Apple TV, all with insights from friends, experts, and the Apple community. Because here we don't have to reread the release notes, so you don't have to. All right, we've got another great panel this week. Welcome. Hoping everybody's having a great day this week. And let's go ahead and start with Jill McKinley. Thanks for being here, Jill.
Thanks for having it. It's been a rough week, but you know what? I kicked butt this week, so I'm feeling good. Got my work things done.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Glad you're able to make it. And Marty Jencius is here. How you doing, Marty?
School started.
Oh, boy.
School started. We got to go back to school. Summer's over. But I'm glad to be here.
My family did too, but...
Yeah. I'm glad to be here.
No, I'm glad you're here too. Also here is Mr. Guy Serle. How you doing, Guy?
Hey, I am feeling good. Hopefully I won't have any power-related problems this week. That would be nice. And Marty, all I have to say to all those meetings is wah, 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 wah.
Well, my cool thing is actually related to the meeting. So when we get to new things or cool things, it's meeting related.
And we have here. Oh, there's Eric Bolden, and he's got some sunflowers behind him. How you doing, Eric?
Good. Yeah, it's been a great day. Nice sunny sunflowers. I've got a full cup of tea in my lucky mug. It's a good week.
Let's go ahead and hit all the topics for this week. In touch with the Vision Pro beta and everything we normally talk about. So let's first talk about Vision Pro. In touch with Vision Pro, Apple did see the sixth beta of visionOS, and I actually forgot to update. Now I think about it, because I was a little ill on Monday, missing Vision Profiles, unfortunately. But why don't Marty and Eric, Marty, why don't you tell us what you found? Was anything different from last week?
Nothing much. It was a very small-sized update. It's getting, it was below 1 gig, I think, which is small for what we usually get when we get beta updates, with it. Did a lot of work on SAI and incorporating SAI, and fixing some of the problems that were identified with it. Did some other things for everyday uses like TV apps, subtitles no longer get clipped when you resize the tiles in it. And then also did some work around 3D content that was failing to load in Quick Look, and that's now fixed. So it's really much more housekeeping than anything else, with some issues still having to be dealt with, like large panoramic photos can still crash photos. Switching between 2D and 3D spatial views can do that too. So there's some things for developers, but mainly there is a lot of things that were fixed in the background that'll help improvement and stop some of the bug glitches that had been in previous betas. But we didn't expect any new wonderful things out of it. We're just getting closer to the release candidate.
Yeah, we are getting real close. And interestingly enough, and I'll talk about the rest of the betas, this was like a week out. I was surprised it came out so quickly, because we've been having that like every 2 weeks. So it was quick. So, Eric, did you see anything out of the ordinary on your end?
Mac Virtual Display just seemed to be a little bit smoother, and I'm having better luck if I take my headset off, put it back on. The display is still there more consistently than previously. So yeah, each time just little improvements here and there, definitely adding up to be a nice update.
Yeah, it's been pretty successful actually. And speaking of video, I think this was really cool. I know this came out about 9 days ago, but I wanted to make sure we talked about it here. That the visionOS beta is now allowing multiple video and audio sources on at once. I don't know if any of you guys have tried this yet. I have not, but starting a video allows you to put a second video right next to it, and it's kind of like you're in, like we want to watch the NFL Sunday Ticket. You got the 3, 4, 5 football games on at once there. Well, the same thing you can do here is you can put different screens, like it's showing. They're showing the White Sox in this Reddit, but you have multiple screens that you can put in one, and then another screen in the other, and be able to watch multiple videos. Have you guys tried these at all, Marty or Eric?
No, I haven't tried it. I will probably get vertigo from having too many things going on. My eyes will become wall-eyed, and from the process.
Well, can I ask a question? If you put a video in one screen and then you just put it a little bit on the second screen, does it turn it like into 3D? That's what I wanted. 3D.
No, I don't.
Already.
Unless it's actual spatial video. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think
if you use
in my
one
case,
of the
it wouldn't
apps,
matter anyway.
So it depends on the app, I guess.
Yeah. Because there are a couple of apps that will let you stream video from the Mac to the headset and do a convert at the same time. And I haven't tried the multiple videos because there was some debate over whether it was a bug or not a bug. And I didn't want to appreciate the feature and then lose it, because that would be sad. So I thought I'd give it one more week.
Okay. Yeah. So those are Reddit posts. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that when it comes for Vision Pro. They did also release visionOS 26.6.1 because there was a lot of current version software updates with some bug fixes and security fixes. There was no notes about it, which is interesting. I haven't seen that before, where Apple would release something on an OS and just not give any details as of yet, and even specifically says that. So, but just be aware that that's out there as well if you're not running on beta. And then also, this story just came in today as we are recording. Apple's reportedly laying off 60 Vision employees amid shifting priorities. According to this report, and it cited some reliable sources, Apple has laid off at least 60 employees tied to the Apple's VR team, the Apple Vision Group, and similar positions. Of course, Apple has not confirmed nor commented on the report. This was like a year ago when Mark Gurman actually had said that they had broken up the Vision Pro products group, and then he went on to say that Apple still remained committed to visionOS and its broader spatial ambitions, even as it's deprioritizing most of the major new enclosed headsets in favor of AI wearables. This comes 2 months after the Spatial Insider's Justin Ryan asked Apple's senior director, Steve Sinclair, who leads this product marketing team for visionOS, and he says, had Apple put Vision Pro on ice and broken up the team behind it, he says it's still in the very early innings for spatial computing, and so there's a lot of things we're doing and we're learning and continuing to improve, and the typical Apple response to this.
Yeah, say a lot without saying anything at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He also echoed some comments that were made by incoming CEO John Termes in April when Apple's was still in the early innings. So they're staying consistent with their mention anywhere. Of course, they got the M5 upgrade with just a chip, but there really wasn't much of a big upgrade. So, Marty, what do you think on this?
First of all, just from reading the article, Gurman always reports like he's running the company. Just as I said a year ago,
I think it should be a show title.
They were going to cut back. It always sounds like, hey, buddy, you're just getting rumors. You're not pushing the boat. You're not sailing the ship.
Yeah.
First of all, how many people are hired under the division, the optical or the Vision Pro division or wearable headsets? This might be 1% of the people, or 5% of the people that are actually working on the project. And it could be these are the folks that design the box, and they don't need or some aspect of it where they don't need their particular purpose, and they don't fit into any other purpose in terms of where the headset or glasses are going. So I don't get freaked out about this. It's not a death knell.
Okay. And Eric, what do you think?
Yeah, I guess I expect them to continue to refocus because no one's really sure for each of these product categories what exactly it's being used for. There's a lot of medical use coming out now. The virtual display or doing stuff on the headset, and then what happens with glasses, and there's going to be kind of refocusing, reorganizations. There'll be new teams building out. It's not unexpected, and they of course don't tell you did they just go to a different team or what happened. So I'm not going to worry about it either.
Or are they retired comfortably for the rest of their lives, sunning on a South California beach?
Yeah, come on. We have to listen to what Gurman says. He's got all the answers.
Well, the only problem with the beach is it's a virtual beach, and you're only there as long as you have your headset on.
Yeah,
I heard OpenAI just hired 60 optical.
Virtual margaritas.
Yeah, and they had them talk about the projects they worked on.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to beta this week. But before we get to beta, as I mentioned, with visionOS, iOS 26.6.1, as well as iPadOS 26.6.1 was released. There was a number of big bug fixes, and there's so many, I'm not even going to mention them all, other than there was close to 30 across both iPad and iPhone. So we highly recommend that you go out, do your updates now, 26.6.1, and make sure you take care of that because it's super important that you have that. We'll talk about Mac here in just a minute. You're going to see the updates too across probably watchOS and tvOS as well. So make sure you're doing your updates, keep things secure. Apple, this was unusual for them to actually do this update that quickly. This is another release like in 3 weeks, as the Surface bugs faster than the company's typical release schedule can absorb. So they had quite a struggle to get this out so quickly. So again, there's 29 that were outlined in the security document that's linked in the show notes. So go out, get that taken care of. Also this week, Apple seeded the 6th betas of iPhone iOS 27 as well as iPad OS 27 to developers. Again, the Apple Intelligence features and features in apps like Photos and Safari, Shortcuts, Wallet, Passwords. A lot of change. They got the standalone S Lady app that houses the S Conversations. Writing and S is also available system wide. So you're going to see a lot of changes, and we've talked about on tons of stuff. And as it gets closer, we're definitely going to dive into it a lot deeper to what's going to be coming out on iOS and iPad OS shortly here. watchOS also had its updates. They seeded the 6th beta for watchOS 27. The number of things that it says, we got a lot of Apple Intelligence. Everything is coming across here with it. That includes the Apple Intelligence AI with the Apple Watch that requires an iPhone that supports it, as well as which is going to include the iPhone 15 Pro and higher. There's a new dynamic app that'll highlight the suggested apps and more intuitive smart stack suggestions. So it's a fair amount of improvements on watchOS. tvOS, there really wasn't much, as we tend to not expect when it comes to that. So I won't hit on that too much. It was very minimal with what they've added. One thing we'll probably mention is AirPlaying to an Apple TV from another Apple device is faster. I've done a little bit of testing on that, and that does seem to have been improved. But with all the rumors about the new Apple TV device coming out soon, I'm hoping more on that than worrying about beta with tvOS. So let's talk a little bit about some new features that are still coming in CarPlay. We've talked about this a few times. That the video apps are now going to have including browsing capabilities, so you can browse and watch videos on your in-car display when parked. Video playback does not work when the car is in motion for safety reasons, for expected, but you will be able to switch to audio only. And then iPhone apps that support AirPlay can now stream content to the car's display. I hope that stops that. So you got SAI with smarter capabilities, audio, which is now a persistent mini player, and the now playing CarPlay template. Wallpapers got some more. You got to have improved wallpapers, right, for CarPlay,
Yes.
and route data that for navigation apps like Apple Maps, Google Maps can now share that route data with a vehicle for adding information like EV charging stops and directions. So, a number of other things that we're going to see in CarPlay. Marty, Eric, anybody who's got beta, have you tried anything in CarPlay with
What I've noticed, because I'm developer beta on my iOS device, is CarPlay fell back a little bit, and now it's sort of back to the 5th grade level in terms of intelligence. It wasn't, it was at one time, it was just, there were so many, at least it stopped saying to me, we're having a trouble making the connection. And at least now it seems to be making the connection and answering more direct responses back, as I said, to 5th grade level. So we hope it will, I hope it will continue to evolve. I am just overwhelmed with Apple doing all this stuff with betas and then old, previous software dealing with security issues, just a list of stuff that you have in this show in terms of what Apple has put out in the last week with regard to all the product specific updates and the fact that they're doing these updates, or they did it like weekly this time. I don't know what they're feeding their employees there, but send me some.
That's right. Oh, anybody else on that? Eric, I know you do have CarPlay. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. And Marty's right. It's like there've been a few steps back. Yeah, there's some more features. Not all of the wires are plugged in just yet, or it's kind of a weak connection. I've noticed for everybody who didn't go with the beta and has been sad because they're hearing about all the cool stuff. My watch reboots all the time. My phone reboots all the time. And if you're driving with CarPlay and you're going someplace and your map reboots, it comes back. It knows that you were still on your way and the routing comes back up, but there's a little gap. And if you miss your turn during that gap, it could add some extra time. So yes, running on your production stuff is not a good idea.
No, we always say this. Do not run beta on your production iPhone.
We do always say this.
Guy Serle.
Yeah.
I learned it from you, Dad.
Yeah.
So I'm living the dream. I only missed a couple exits.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that Siri AI integration seems to be working a little bit better with maps, where you've told Maps that you're going someplace, and then you're like, oh crap, I need to go to this other place. So instead of having to start hitting buttons on your screen or whatever, you just invoke the S lady and say, oh, please change my final destination to blah, blah, blah. Please add a stop to blah, 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 whatever it is that you're trying to do. And it does it. And that's actually quite handy for me, as well as I haven't had a chance to try it in Waze, but I get the feeling that it probably won't work in Waze the same way.
Probably not.
Yeah. And of course, sometimes I have regular conversations with ChatGPT as I'm just driving around going someplace.
I've done that.
get her opinions on Ian Hunter and the Van Halen split.
I've done it. I've done it.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah. And I actually asked one time, I was heading home from bowling last night, and I was like, you know what I really want? I want some Burger King. And I made it, even though it's not a good idea, I made it location aware so that it knew where I was and the direction I was going and all the rest of that. And I was like, where's the nearest Burger King? And she was like, well, it's over here someplace. And I was like, great. Can you send that to Maps? And she was like, sorry, I can't do that. And it was like, it's okay, Dorothy. I understand. It's fine. It's fine. And,
oh, sorry, guy. Go ahead.
No. That was it. I said goodbye to Dorothy and went to Maps and got my Burger King fix. Right. So, happy ending. Yay.
So I'm basically splitting up my AI world. So ChatGPT is the chatbot where I get information, how I do research, that kind of thing. And now I'm doing the S Lady for when I need to interact with something Apple. And so I have done a few things where I have said, hey, S Lady, ask ChatGPT why this is happening. And it keeps me from having to push any buttons. And that works really well. I have said, S Lady, change my destination on Waze, and it will instantaneously do it. In fact, I gave it something obscure to see what it would do. And it said, well, there are 4 locations of this. Which one do you want? I want the one on this road. Okay. And it did it, and it sent it to Waze, and off I was on my way. So I've been very impressed with that.
All right. I wasn't able to get that to work, but.
Yeah. So that worked well for me, but that was before the update yesterday. So, I don't know. And so CarPlay has been really good. ChatGPT just gets better and better in the car, which I appreciate. The one thing I did notice is that on the beta, the voice to text is amazingly better for all the crap that it was before and how it wouldn't type the things you said at all. Now it does. And it does it very sophisticatedly, and I've been very impressed with it. And I had a bug in the last beta where it would just crap out. It would just stop at some point and stop doing it. I only had that happen once since I updated yesterday, and it seems better, more stable than it was. So
I agree. I think that the text-to-chat feature through CarPlay has gotten much better, which in some ways is a disappointment for me. Some of the things that it used to say that I thought I wanted in a chat message were so funny that I sent them anyway. Didn't even try to change it. It was like, okay, so you've thrown lawnmower in there for some reason. I don't know why, but my wife will probably appreciate it. Of course, then I get to think back to my wife, like, what the hell are you talking about? It was like, look, don't ask me. I am not a willing participant in this. I'm just following along with everybody else. So
yeah, I gave a presentation Monday to the Silicon Valley mug on SAI. So I've been trying to get it to I've been trying to go to it as much as I can. And the big stumbling block for me for the last couple of weeks was I can't tie this into my Outlook account. And then, like stupid me, I figured it out. Just have my Outlook account come through my mail, and then I have my Outlook account. So my work appointments, emails, requests, resources are now part of Mail, Apple Mail on device. And it's really miraculous in terms of finding stuff, pulling it together. It's sort of like I'm on this committee for a conference. They've sent out some emails. I asked SAI on my MacBook to pull. This is what I'm doing while I should be listening to the discussion on college values that went on for 4 hours. And I asked it to pull the emails of the people who are listed in the emails and create a list for me. And then from there, I generated an email out to all of them. It is just so wild and so different than what ChatGPT does or can do, so different than what Claude does or can do, because you're not feeding them anything context or work related. They do great different productivity stuff, but they don't do the stuff that's sitting in your email box waiting to get done.
All right, let's move on because we've gone on way off this topic about CarPlay. So, one last thing I wanted to talk about. I know you are. One last thing I wanted to talk about with iOS 27, they finally fixed replying to Android texts. When it arrives next month, you'll be able to reply to a specific green chat bubble, aka Android message, in a messages conversation on your iPhone. All you need to do is press and hold the message, tap reply, and then send your response to it. And it will be received by the recipient in a real threaded reply, just like an inline reply, like what we expect, like the Blue Bubble people like us experience. Uh-huh. So good to finally see that. And
superior people.
Superior people is iPhone, yes.
Yeah.
This is all thanks to Apple's embrace of RCS, as we've talked about in the protocol. It also going to depend on carrier support too on both ends. So you'll have to see where that goes as well. So just be aware of that. And then let's move on to Mac. In Touch with Mac this week, they did release a huge update for macOS. This was a security update patches. Has, like I said, the frequency has really increased. That screen sharing authentication is flaw that was across macOS Tahoe, Sequoia, and Sonoma was released. So you have 26.6.1 that got delivered. Then you have 15.7.9 for Sequoia, and then 14.8.9 for Sonoma. Great to see Apple continue to support this. It was only 10 days after when 26.6 came out. So be aware, get those installed right away. But then, funny enough, not even less than a week later, 26.6.2 comes out with updates to macOS. So it's so important to run these updates and get the security patches in place. It's just kind of perplexing to see Apple has had some bad experiences here with some security flaws, especially in macOS. So no other version has 26.6.2 other than macOS. So but get that updated. It's real important. And I can't say anything more. And then they did see the latest beta of Golden Gate, which is macOS 27, and the developers have that. And of course, everything with AI and SAI is all like we've talked about. It's all added, and Liquid Glass has some improved stuff. The dedicated S app, and they did add some new cool wallpapers, and I really love the screensaver they have built in now. If anybody's experienced it with the Golden Gate Park, and you've got right at the shore of the bay there, and you're seeing the crashing waves coming up on. So I look over and it's like I think it's on my screen now. I see it on my other Mac behind me here, and it is kind of cool to see that and doing some more 3D type of experience on a screensaver. That's built in. So, but they got a couple more improvements, which they've added. Anybody running beta on Mac? I know, Jill, you said you are, and that you've seen lately.
No. In fact, I've been running it on my AirBook for a long time, and it's been really good. I've been using the integration with the AI, and partially what I wanted to do is I had some thoughts about getting Grammarly back, and then I thought, well, wait a minute. I think what's coming is something that will help me in that same kind of way. So I have upgraded both my Macs to beta, and they're working flawlessly. It's faster. I mean, everything is just better, I think.
Yeah. Once I got back from Macstock, I put the beta on my M1 MacBook Pro, and I haven't had any problems with it.
Yeah, it's been running pretty well. Yeah. Although my Mac Mini, my low-end Mac Mini, the M4, it's been kind of wonky. I don't know if it's the beta or not, because I've been using it for some stuff. So I have to look into that a little further. But as I mentioned about, what's that?
Mine's an M4, and it's fine.
Yeah, this is the M4 256 that I have storage. So one they don't make anymore. And there is a link in the show notes to an article that relates to the wallpapers I mentioned. Mostly what they are is the evening wallpapers of the Golden Gate night, and other options who you don't provide that scenery. In fact, I put that Golden Gate wallpaper on my Mac, my iPad Pro 13. It looks really great. Just the background. So they did some cool things with that. So that is what's going on with Mac. Let's go into some of the other topics. This was interesting. This just got announced today as we're recording this. ChatGPT update adds Apple Messages integration on Mac. well, this seems very interesting that the latest update has this new Mac integration, the ability to work with conversations from your Apple Messages app. The feature works with iMessage, SMS, and RCS. It's a plugin that ChatGPT adds that allows you to be able to go across all plans, and so if you have just the Plus plan, no problem. And of course, this access raises a little bit of privacy and control questions, and OpenAI stresses that sending remains gated by user approval in the default settings. Users should take care before granting persistent approval. OpenAI's plugin guide details the risks, how to revoke access, and a known issue involving task to disable that prompt. So I don't know if I would hook this up. What would you guys do with this? Marty, I'll start with you.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I am not wild about this. There's sometimes, like, I have some family members who are Android family members, and I want to scream, why don't we all abandon iMessage and whatever messaging service they're using on Android and get on ChatGPT? But I'm not sure I want to integrate or have the capability of having these being able to crosstalk messages and ChatGPT.
Yep. Jill, I'm sorry, you were going to say something?
No, I just the first thing I thought of is why? Who is, like, what would that do for you? Do you have so many text messages and they're not personal, where you'd want to answer the person directly? I don't know. It just sort of seemed like, I wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second thing is, no, I think it sounds like a security. There's too many things that come in, like second factor authentication and, various things that come in that way through messages. And I'm like, no, sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, no, I agree. Anybody else want to add anything to this? Guy or Eric? All right, so proceed with caution, as I guess is the actual.
Dorothy would never hurt me.
Message. She wouldn't. So
good.
I hope
this has been this topic has been going around this whole week about the fact that Apple accidentally leaked more than 10 new products in macOS update. So this was kind of an interesting story. Apple accidentally leaked more than 10 products in a macOS update. So Apple on Monday seeded the macOS 26.7 release candidate. I didn't even know there was a release candidate until this was talked about yesterday as we record here. And it seems it leaked more than 10 new Apple products. So the findings were in code that was references to AirPods with infrared cameras, which they've been talking about that for visual intelligence, the long-rumored foldable iPhone, and Apple's Smart Home Hub, the first ever MacBook and iPad mini models with OLED displays, an updated S remote for the next generation of Apple TV, and more. And this was found in the code here. So yeah, it's just kind of crazy here what they're finding. And they got other things so far with the AirPods. There could be an AirPods 5 with the camera, and the Home Hub with a widget gallery and iPhone support, iPhone widget support. So yeah, this is kind of fascinating to see. A lot of this has been out there. Anybody have any thoughts about this?
Well, we'll see if it actually happens. Yeah.
I would love this to be an intentional ruse. Like the guys, they have like a coffee break and they're sitting around and go, hey, let's throw in a new S remote in the code just to throw people off. Because we know someone's going to spend their time looking for this stuff. I would just love half of this to be a ruse, just to keep people guessing and not assuming they're going to find something that Apple hasn't released yet or wants released. So,
well, what they could do is at the end of the September 9th event, John Turnus allegedly. Yeah, well, that's my birthday, so that's not alleged. Okay. My birthday is not alleged. At the end of the presentation, John Turnus comes out and says, "Oh, one more thing. All those things in the code, it was all BS. We did it just to piss you off." And then, shoot, by the way, everyone's gone. That would be so great. I mean, they'd never do it. They would never do it. But oh my God, that would be so funny.
That would be. Anybody else want to add anything to this?
I mean, I'm
right.
kind of excited about the AirPods, so I'm kind of excited about some of the things I
Yeah.
saw in there.
Especially at the home the home products. Finally, we've been waiting so long, and Apple TV for that matter. I mean, I'll be the first in line to buy a new Apple TV for sure.
Yeah, I'm ready for a new one.
Are we 3 weeks away?
Yeah, so let's hope that I see that, because I mean, the bad thing is the price went up so ridiculously high now. I mean, you got to pay $249 for the top end Apple TV now, where that's $100 more than it used to be, which kind of is a crapper.
So honestly, here's the thing: they've always had two different products. They've had one with less storage, then another one that had more storage.
Network.
We really need more storage on an Apple TV since everything is pretty much streaming now.
Probably not. You could probably
and
go with the
most
low
of the
end.
content is kept someplace else in your home network. I don't see the reason to even have a higher end Apple TV.
It's the network cable that I do it for.
The network cable is the problem, right? I mean, I have to use them for work, for signage, and yeah, I made the mistake of not buying the ones without the Ethernet cable connector, and that they become bricks basically. So, but yeah, not everybody needs an Ethernet connection for their Apple TV. It's helpful. And it really improves upon the network connectivity, especially because you're streaming so much on it, which gives it the bonus, because you don't have that on something like a Roku or a Fire TV. So
right, and if most of your content is going through your Apple TV, then whoever you bought your smart TV from don't really get to have that information. That's all held within the Apple TV.
It stays in the Apple TV, right? So, well, we'll see what happens for sure. One other thing is the college students now can get a free year of Google AI Pro. Whoopee! Let's get excited. Google announced this week that they're eligible to get that free year of Google AI Pro, which is normally priced at $19.99 a month. It includes 4x higher usage limits in Gemini across the Gemini Spark, and Google apps like Gmail and Google Docs, and 5 terabytes of storage. Space. Ooh. Eligible college students outside the United States can get a free year of Google AI Plus, which includes Gemini Omni, 4 times higher usages, and the 400 gigabytes. So that's quite a difference. You can also opt for a Google AI Pro and a YouTube Premium bundle for $8.99 a month in the United States. So that's a good deal too. So, do anybody think here that college students are going to even want to do this? What do you think, Guy?
As long as it's free, they may throw it on just because.
It's not free.
Oh no, you said, but it's.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is free. Yes, for a year, right?
Yeah, and then once it becomes time to pay for it, they'll just be like, "Did I really use it that much? Nope." Bloop, and off it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else want to add on to this?
I was going to say it depends if mommy and daddy are paying for college.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think college students who are, I think they'll get on it. I actually do think that they'll use this. I mean, we did the same sort of things with Apple Music, where college students got discounts and different kinds of products. I think they think they're getting something free, but they don't realize that Google's getting a lot of good information on them. So Google's making money off of this, even though it looks like they're on surface losing money because they're giving it away for free.
Right.
I'm not sure college students either one think about it or care about it, because they have a different, at least the students I've interacted with have a different concept of transparency with their own personal stuff. It's sort of like, nah. They have a real kind of laissez-faire attitude about putting their stuff out there, or other sources having access to it. So I think this could become a added plus benefit, that when they buy a substandard laptop, that this will be appealing to them.
Yeah. And if anything, you should know about college students, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Marty, what do you know about college students?
Well, they would tell you nothing, but
closer to them than I am.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, boy, you all dick kind of directions with that. Never mind.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
So Sonos iPhone app finally gains live activity support. Sonos just updated its iOS app with the new live activity support, providing quick access to playback controls from your lock screen. This was shared on a Reddit post announcing the new feature, which appears after you initiate playback on a Sonos device and then close the app. The live activity shows current room or group in which you were last playing the audio, and allows you to play and pause or skip tracks, so you don't have to go into the app. So as things stand, the album art can't be displayed in the live activity, but Sonos is looking at alternate ways to enhance the live lock screen experience. If we remember correctly, Sonos has a lot of big mud on their face about how bad their app was for quite a while. So I've not tried this yet. I do have a Sonos Move, which I might want to set that back up. I've been kind of lost interest in that for a while here, but I still have it. So I don't know, maybe I should check this out. Anybody have any comments about this?
You can see I have two Sonoses probably right behind me if you squint real hard. But I use it as, I never wanted another third-party app. I don't get it. I just airdrop things to it. That's why I got Sonos in the first place. It was one of the rare devices you could airdrop, and then it's hooked up to my TV or Apple TV. And I don't know. It's funny because they all wanted to make their own app where it was going to be the hub, and I'm like, is that really what people are seeking? Is it anyone really want this? And I don't know. Are they trying to compete against Spotify or something someday? But, you connect up, you hook up in the app all the services you have, and then it'll play it out directly. But I've never had a problem with AirDrop, and so I don't see the benefit, I guess. But, I mean, you're right. They're trying to get the mud off their face.
Well, I kind of imagine it's the branding issue. Besides just being a player that sound comes out of, it now when it has an app, it gives it a certain particular branding. Then, the way you use it, Jill, it's a device that you airdrop to versus a integrated system with an app on its own. So,
yeah.
Yep. Anybody else? All right, so let's move on to some of the news this week. We've got Ted Lasso that just came out. They're going the third episode, I believe. Well, actually, it's today. I got to go watch it. That just came out.
Wait till the show's over.
Well, of course. I'm not going to watch it right this second. I mean, I also have to go check. I also have to watch Stranger Worlds, too.
What about Star Trek, man?
Like Thursday. Yeah. Oh, no, there's no question about that. Thursdays are coming after the podcast. I got to go right and watch both shows. But Apple TV hit comedy series Ted Lasso's Shrinking creator is returning soon. Bad Monkey. Remember Bad Monkey? That was a great show with Vince Vaughn. It was an Apple TV comedy which was created by Bill Lawrence. And of course, he's from Ted Lasso and Shrinking fame, and it returns for a new season. It's going to premiere season 2 on December 2nd. And he has become one of the most prolific filmmakers in TV comedy of late. He's not new to the genre. When his prior successes was Scrubs and Cougar Town. Yeah, I remember Cougar Town. But in the streaming era, Lawrence is behind the likes of Ted Lasso, Shrinking, HBO's Rooster, which is really good too with Steve Carell.
Yeah.
I started watching that, and then you have Vince Vaughn's comedy Bad Monkey. It aired earlier this year, but now with Ted Lasso airing now, Apple just announced that it will come out for a new season, and it premieres on Wednesday, December 2nd, and it's going to have multiple episodes going through February 3rd, so you'll get a little time here. If everybody remembers, this is the character is Vince Vaughn's character, Andrew Yancey, witnesses the murder of Florida's finest fixer and ambitious stakes attorney who pairs him up with a straight-laced forensic accountant to survive the crime. So he very goofy, very fun. I believe it was based on a book, if I'm not.
Carl Hiaasen.
Yeah. So and John Malkovich is going to be in season 2 with him, which that should be interesting. So anybody, it sounds like a lot of you have watched Bad Monkey. I can't wait to watch this again.
I am trying to figure out whether this is a carryover, because they had a cliffhanger at the end of season 1. So for people who haven't seen season 1, I won't spoil it. And I'm looking at the narrative that they're describing here and how that ties in or doesn't tie into that cliffhanger with it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. Unfortunately, December 2nd.
Yeah, we've got 2 months yet. Ugh.
Yeah.
Less than 2 months.
Where's
and Weather
Pluribus?
Bucket in the chat. I haven't mentioned that chat. YouTube.com/InTouchWithIOS. Cougar Town was fantastic. It was a good show. So anybody else with this show? Anybody going to watch it?
What, Bad Monkey or Shrinking
Bad
or
Monkey.
Ted Lasso?
Well,
I started to watch it, and maybe I'm going to have to go back and try it again. But because I'm a big Carl Hyacin fan. He writes about all the crazy crap that happens in Florida, and half the time I'm like, yeah, that's what happened. So, it just didn't, and there was another show on called, I think, R.J. Decker that was on ABC that was also another, weird, quirky Florida area kind of detective comedy. And I enjoyed that more than I did Bad Monkey. But I don't know if Hyacin was involved with that one.
I don't think he was. I watched both of them and saw the relationship between the two.
Yeah.
I think you're probably disappointed because you've read the book, or you've read the books.
Yeah.
And you can't read the books of R.J. Decker.
Right.
So that's kind of original content. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I enjoyed them both. Same sort of vibe.
Okay. Eric,
my friend is loving Ted Lasso. She is really enjoying it.
I saw the first episode, and I have to say I was not impressed with the very first episode, but the second one was brilliant, especially the woman coach and her interactions with Ted. It has just been so good. And I'm kind of curious to find out what happens to that dynamic. No, I'm not going to spoil anything, but everybody knows this if they've watched Ted Lasso. What the interaction is going to be between, and I can't think of the woman's name, and Beard. Because they're two completely opposite spectrum weirdos. So,
all right. Let's go ahead. We're going to move on, and I'm going to talk a little bit about ads. They've been talking about it. Well, ads are coming soon to Apple Maps.
It's already there.
Yeah, they're seeing some of them, but starting that last week it started. You're going to see Apple ad slots and introductory offers providing advertisers a 15% credit towards future ad spend to $1,000 per month of spend over the first year. The ads do not appear to be visible in Apple Maps just yet, but they should be rolling out soon. Apple previously stated that the ads would go live at some point in the summer of 2026. Well, that's where we are now. And ads will appear at the top of the Maps search results and the new suggested places app. So
they're already there. If you go to those particular screens, yeah. I mean, you don't see it on the map screen itself if you've set for navigation, at least not yet. But as far as when you're doing searching and things like that, yeah, they've already appeared.
Okay. And then a couple things here. Apple agrees to make app tracking transparency changes in Germany. They agreed to make changes to the app tracking transparency feature, according to the country's competition regulator. Since the release of 14.5, iOS 14.5 in April 2021, Apple has required apps to ask for permission before tracking a user's activity, which was amazing when they did that. I'm so glad they do it for personalized advertising. If a user selects Ask App Not to Track option, the app was unable to access the device's advertising identifier. Apple says the feature is designed to enhance user privacy, but some advertisers have complained that it's significantly impacted their revenue. Oh, well. In Germany, Apple has agreed to remove the possibility of discouraging symbols and wording from the app tracking transparency prompt. The regulator said apps will be given apps will be given more scope to explain to users that what significant personalized advertising has for their offering and their business model. So basically what they're saying here is they want to there's a whole statement about this, and but Apple still says that they believe that it's a fundamental human right, and we introduced the tracking transparency to give users a simple way to control whether apps have the permission to track their activity. They got to do in many EU countries. They got to do these compliances. Just again, this is kind of a political type of story here, but they got to do these compliances. What does anybody think about this?
Well, they're trying to talk them out of being so negative about advertising. I'm like, what kind of country watchdog is that?
Yeah.
Be more negative.
Yep. Anybody else? All right. And then lastly, I want to talk a little bit about the EU. EU welcomes Apple's App Store changes. Epic slams quote-unquote junk fees. We always love talking about Epic, don't we? Yeah. Apple this week, updated its App Store fees in the EU to comply with the Digital Markets Act and to put an end to the ongoing conflict with the EU Commission. Apple's cut the core technology fee and simplified its pricing structure so apps distributed through alternative marketplaces or through the web will pay less than before. With the announcement of changes, Apple is working in close collaboration with the EC, and that the updates would resolve Apple's disagreements with the Commission and the business terms of the alternate distribution. And they've since confirmed that this approves of the Apple's changes in the App Store policies. This was a statement to the Irish Independent. The Commission welcomes Apple's changes to the business terms, which follows a close dialogue between the Commission and Apple after Commission's issued a non-compliance decision relating to Apple's steering terms as well as preliminary findings. So this will all be implemented by October 1st. And again, it's now going to be their fees will be 20% as opposed to 30% in-app payment options and 15% fees on links to make the purchase outside of the apps and 5% core technology commission. Oh, this is again, very political here as well. But again, this is all in the EU, so we don't have to experience this much when it comes to this. Anybody have any comments about this?
I think
Epic is upset that Apple's not sending them customers for free.
Yeah, and how many people buy things outside of the Epic App Store that's allowed for free, other than their various little app stores everywhere? Epic doesn't walk the walk.
I think if Epic has a reason to complain, I think it came out during this whole thing that there were discounts given to places like Amazon on the fee because you couldn't take 30% of Amazon's shopping, right, from their app on a fee. And so there were discounts that some places got and some places didn't get. And so I would say, well, okay, you could make a complaint that it's not fair. Yeah. That some people get a discount on that fee, but call it a junk app. I mean, I'm pretty sure Xbox charges to get on Xbox and PlayStation charges to get on PlayStation. And you want access to a variety of customers, there's going to be a fee.
Doesn't Epic Games have fees in their own store for other vendors?
Yes, they do.
Absolutely. That's what he was saying.
So it's kind of...
They don't walk the walk.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah.
Nope. So, anybody else? All right, let's go ahead and move on to this week's things we found, and we're going to start with Jill. She's got a pick.
Well, let me talk about this. I don't know if you can see my phone, but there's a floating timer up here at the top of this. And the app itself, because I always get the name wrong, is called Pop Out Timer. And what's nice about it is it's a timer, a Pomodoro timer, which is meant for I'm going to exercise for 20 minutes or I'm going to study hard for 20 minutes, and then also a clock. And you can pop it out. And so you can see that it's always here. I can move it around my screen so I can put it places. But if I change screens on it, the timer stays where it's at. I can go into an app. I can come out of an app. And so if you are like me and if I get rid of a timer, I'll just forget about it. So I just can't. I have to have it right in front of me. And I left the hose on watering my yard for way too long. And so I said, I need something more in my face so that I don't leave the hose on. But you can change the color, and it's a way for keeping you focused on it.
Yep. Oh, good pick. And it says, look, it's free, but it says in-app purchases. Did you buy the in-app?
Yeah, I think I did because I was so impressed with it. So I did buy the.
Yeah, they have a monthly, yearly, or there's a premium. A premium, I think, is the one-time charge, I believe.
Yeah, I think I did the premium one-time charge because I know how my brain works, and I need to see a timer in front of me. So
there you go.
Yeah,
good pick. All right. So my pick this week is a kind of a fun little thing. This is made by Spigen, believe it or not. This is an Apple wall charger stand, and it looks like a Mac, iMac, the G3, the color ones, the fun Macs that were when the iMac came out for the first time. So basically, what this does is allows you to be able to thread the Apple Watch charger through the bottom of it, and it puts the charger right in the front of where the screen is. Then you feed the cable to the bottom, plug it into a plug, and then you put the watch right on to the front of the screen. It looks kind of cool. And it comes in tangerine, it comes in ruby, it comes in Mondi blue, and it comes in graphite. And it's only $17. It's a little cool little thing, and I thought this was kind of cool.
That's neat.
Yeah, and it's made by Spigen, which makes great stuff. They're good cases and a lot of good stuff. So I thought it was really cool to check that out. Marty, you have a water bottle. What is this?
Okay, so sitting in these college meetings all day long, you start to look at things around the table and space out. And for the first half of the meeting, I didn't notice this. It wasn't on the table. And then somebody put this water bottle on the table. And it was so smooth and well designed. And I thought, this looks like an Apple product water bottle. And actually, I do have an Apple product water bottle, which I got at Infinite Loop, the store at Infinite Loop. The Apple product water bottle does not look like anything Johnny Ive would design, but these water bottles do. And so on the break, I asked the person who made this, what is it? And it is Sojirisho. It's Japanese, and she explained to me it was a Japanese. Yeah, Sojirishu. And the website in there will take you actually to the Amazon link, which they have a whole page of different kinds of water bottles. And, it's the beginning of a school year. I got a new nice MacBook Neo to take with me to work. And I've got a nice new bag to take it in. And I need a nice new, really cool looking water bottle. And I think these are pretty cool looking. So.
Excellent.
They were the makers of the best bread maker. So my bread maker I have downstairs is that same brand, and it lasts forever. It is fantastic and easy to use. So I love that brand.
Yeah, and I noticed that, and you'll notice that if you go to this site that they have all sorts of other appliances, but I just picked up, and it has a little elephant design down at the bottom, a really tiny little elephant, and that's what Sochorizo means. So yeah, it's cool. Very cool looking.
All right. Eric, how about your pick?
They do a nice rice cooker too.
Oh yeah, the rice cooker was good.
Yeah. So I just needed so much caffeine today. So I went for tea. Oh, I didn't fix the link, but there's a link to tea, and I picked a tea. It's a black tea where you add water to the tea leaves, and you can keep adding water throughout the day without replacing the tea leaves, and it never gets bitter.
Nice.
How?
So, I have two thermoses, and I just fill them both up, and then as I find hot water, I just keep adding hot water throughout the day, and that I can survive all day long and into the night and early morning, and yeah.
Oh. Excellent. Good pick. All right, then lastly, Guy, Serle, what do you have?
Yeah, I kind of found this show by accident over on the Flicks of Net, and It's called Best Medicine, and it's about a Boston surgeon who, because of childhood trauma, develops a fear of the sight of blood. So that tied in with being a surgeon means he really has to find something else. So he ends up becoming like the town doctor for this little town in like some coastal town. I can't think of what the name of it is. And it's weird and it's quirky and it's fun. Ann Potts is in it, which I've always liked her. And surprise, surprise, she plays a cranky old lady. So, that's what she does. So that's been a fun show. I binged the hell out of it and just finished the first season. And it came out at some point this year. And I believe there's at least a second season coming up, which I hope is true.
That's great. It's good to find a good new show that is worth watching. And it seems Netflix has a lot of good content lately. I've caught a couple things on there. And some good stuff.
I keep wanting to quit Netflix because it's just getting more and more expensive. And then the sons of whatever end up putting out a new show that hooks me in. And it's like, damn it, I can't leave yet. So I don't know. I guess as long as Netflix keeps coming out with something that tweaks my interest, I'll keep paying for it.
There you go. All right. Thanks. And that was some great picks this week, our things found. But before we go, let's find out where everybody can find all of you here and my co-host on the show this week. Let's start with Eric Bolden. Eric, where can people find you? Thanks for being here.
Hi, great to be here. I can be found on Mastodon at EA Bolden at mas.to. Otherwise, Sunday nights on the Neo Notebook, Mondays on Vision Profiles, Tuesdays on Mac Voices Live, and of course, rounding out the week here on In Touch with iOS on Thursday.
Great. Thanks for being here. And Guy Serle, thank you for being here. Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me over on the G-Men show, and Gaz was back. He's back this week. His audio sounds great. My audio sounds like crap because I think it switched over to the AirPod mics and I didn't realize it. But it's Gaz back on the G-Men show. So
yes.
I don't know how often he's going to be on, and if you listen to the show, he kind of explains what happened and what he's been going through and why he hasn't been on the show. And
that's nice.
Other than having to talk to me, he has other reasons that are very, very good.
Did he freeze? Or did I freeze?
Either Mac Parrot or Avert Shark over on Twaxter and Skies of Blue, and I think over there on Threads as well.
Great. Thanks for being here, Guy. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
Marty Jencius, thank you for being here. Where can people find you?
This is such a wonderful beginning to my weekend. Thanks for having me, Dave.
Of course.
A bunch of shows. You can do the Neo Notebook Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time live stream. Vision Profiles on Monday, and then Chuck's show on Wednesday. Mac Voices, this show here on Thursday. Old Mac Gang Wednesday night live streamed at 9 p.m. and some other shows that I put out, and also ones that I'm thinking about getting more involved in. You can find at thepodtalk.net is the website where you can see the stuff that I do. Contact me at Jencius, Jencius on Blue Sky or Mastodon.
Great. Thanks again. Last but certainly not least, Jill McKinley, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Where can people find you?
Thank you again for having me. You can find everything I do at jillfromthenorthwoods.com. I have 5 podcasts, and they're all YouTube channels as well, so whatever way you like to listen to it, and a brand new Substack. And the technical related one is Small Steps with AI, where I talk about random uses that I'm finding for AI so that people can just get started somewhere with it.
Excellent. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and wrap up for this week. That's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, suggestions to our email address, which is feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky and Mastodon at intouchwithios. Support the show by buying me a coffee at intouchwithios.com/coffee. We'd really appreciate it. You can become a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/intouchwithios. We have 2 tiers available to support the show. We'd really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you're notified when we're live streaming, which is on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/intouchwithios. Thank you for Witherbucket and a number of others that were in the chat this week. You can join us live, and you'll also be able to watch the live streams later, as well as listen to past shows. You can subscribe to the show in our favorite podcatcher, including Pocket Casts, Overcast, and Apple Podcasts, but many others. But better yet, just go to our website, intouchwithios.com. The links are there to listen to any episode you so choose. So, I am Dave Ginsburg. You can find me on the following shows, which is the Neo Notebook on Sunday nights, Vision Profiles on Monday nights, Tuesday nights on Mac Voices Live, and Thursday nights here on In Touch with iOS, Fridays on Tech Hangout. And you can also find me on Mastodon and Blue Sky at Dave Ginsburg. But I'm so glad everybody was here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And until next time, we'll talk again soon.